All right. You know what? From here on out, I'm going to act right. Anytime y'all ask a question, I'm going to seriously answer it. I ain't going to berate y'all or make y'all feel bad for it.
Thank you.
I'm not. So y'all can ask anything. We're going to start a clean slate on this channel, okay? I'm giving y'all a clean slate. Pinky promise. Like, what's that bitch? Heather Lindsay. Pinky promise, y'all. So y'all can ask any questions now. I will answer them. Don't worry. I'm not going to go off on you. So here's me saying it this one time, and I ain't going to say it again, so put it on the record. 1:26 Eastern Time on July the 30th, 2019. I have changed. I'm a new person. I'm saved. I'm not gay no more.
Oh, shit. Did you say you're not gay no more?
Mm-hmm. I'm not gay no more. Hi, and thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Sophisticated Sunday. I'm going to be your reader today, /host, Negzo, and this is my co-host,
Oshun Funke.
And she's not to be fucked with.
Not at all.
So, in this week's episode, we're actually going to be talking about... We're actually going to be talking about several... shit, we need to film it over.
We got to do it over. Mm-hmm. I was going to...
Because it shows up real loud in the mic.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Let's do it over.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Sophisticated Sunday. I'm going to be your reader /host for today, Negzo, and this is my co-host,
Oshun Funke.
And she's not to be fucked with.
Not at all.
So, this week we're going to be speaking about several different topics related to African spirituality. These conversations that we're about to have are inspired from a plethora of conversations Oshun Funke and I have had over the course of the past year. So the first thing that I wanted to ask you is, let's talk about this mantra that we've learned, which is, it's better to not know than to know and not do.
Okay.
Because I've talked about this in my video, The 7 Principles of Spirituality, but I wanted us to talk about it more in depth. Mm-hmm. What exactly does that mean when you're trying to learn more about African spirituality? It's better to not know than to know and not do.
I think it means, and I hate to define a cliche with another cliche, but it means, to whom much is given, much is expected. Yes, exactly. Mm-hmm. And so if you know things, if you have been the beneficiary of knowledge and power, mm-hmm. Then there's an expectation that you will use that information and that knowledge to do what it is that's required of you. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So why is it better to not know than to know and not do?
Because ignorance is bliss. And so not knowing does not put you in the line of fire. You just don't know. So you might be stumbling around in the dark. You might fall and, every now and then or stump your toe. But no, the only person you're hurting is yourself, right? But when the ancestors and the Orisha invest into you, when they pour into you, they expect obedience, and we know that, and they expect action on your part. And so once you have the knowledge and you don't act the way you are expected to, then you are in the line of fire. You're in position to be spanked.
When is it better to not know than to know and not do?
All the time.
All the time.
All the time. I mean, how many times have we both said, oh my God, I wish I could just unknow this? Like, not only because there are expectations associated with the knowledge, but sometimes the knowledge itself is a lot. Mm-hmm. It's a lot to deal with. I mean, ignorance is truly bliss. When you know how things work, and when you're able to just look at a situation and see the real, it's like, oh my God, that's what that is. That's what's been going on. It robs you of your innocence.
So, can you talk about some times where it's better? It had been better for us to not know than to know and not do.
Well, I'm going to give a loose example. The understanding that we both have arrived at that you are always... There's a Bible verse that says... So, God checked in with Satan one time, right? And he was just like, so what's up? What you been doing? And Satan was like, I just been going, to and fro, here and there, checking out mankind, seeing what's up with him.
Yeah.
And then later on, they talk about God says to Satan, "Have you considered Job?" And Satan says, "Well, yeah, I considered him, but you got your hands wrapped around him so tight, it ain't shit I can do to him. So what do you want me to do?" And God said, "Well, I'll take my hands off of him and see what you can do." And then that's when Job went through all of his trials. I bring that Bible verse up to say that I think you and I have both come to understand that we're always being considered. That we're always being watched, that we're always being considered, and that our actions and our circumstances are being considered not only by those helpful energies that we have around us, the Orisha, the ancestors, so on and so forth, but adversaries as well. And I think just having that understanding and having that knowledge, it's like, wow, I would rather have not known that at any given moment, somebody's watching me, that I'm picking my nose and somebody's looking at me, maybe not in the physical, but you know what I'm saying? That you're always being considered. That's heavy. That's a burden,
Yeah, because your life starts to change the more that you know, and there becomes no room for excuses. The Spirit say things to you one time, and you're supposed to remember it, for the rest of your life, or have it written down. And if you're reminded to practice certain principles, the reminder hits you much harder the second time, much harder the third time, and it'll keep beating you until you get it and you learned it and you've memorized it. For example, when I am frustrated, I like to have other people pity me. And what I've come to learn is that pity doesn't pay bills. And so, for example, it's better to not know than to know and not do. Now, in the past, when I didn't know better, something would go wrong in my life. And, for example, let's say, I was supposed to turn in a document and I didn't submit it or whatever. Okay, everybody pities me. Like, okay, Quinn, just do better about it. Hopefully everything will work out. They're supporting me through it. Fast forward to, 3 months ago when I'm trying to open up my business space and things didn't go well. I call Oshun from K, frustrated. And she's like, well, Quinn, you need to pray about it. You need to do some magic on it. You know how to fix the situation. So pity isn't going to help you in this moment. And in me being considered by the spirits, they were evaluating me very harshly in that moment to see if I was going to use my knowledge to transform my situation.
Absolutely.
So I've come to learn that I am always trying to perfect that rule, and I would like for other people to perfect that rule, and perhaps that's why I've been so impatient with people after I've said things one time and I expect them to get it, because that's how
we've been raised.
That's how we've been raised. But that's not just how we've been raised. That's how our clients are being raised as well.
By us, though. By us.
By us, in a way, yes. But think about it this way. Even in the circumstances that you've done readings for people outside of YouTube, where it was that they knew how to fix their situation, the Spirit still reminded them of that. Even if you hadn't taught them before, something in that reading said, you know how to pray, you know how to do magic, you know who to go to, and then you remind them that they this situation isn't completely hopeless and pity isn't going to fix it. And so, when we killed the old Nexo 20 minutes ago, I definitely would have tried to use more points from YouTube, but instead I'll just use them for myself, which is times where I didn't know were the times that I was not relying on my magic or my occult knowledge to help me to understand the situation. I was using mundane or worldly tactics to approach the situation, and you can't fight a spiritual battle with worldly weapons. And so when I was going through those different types of spiritual warfare, what I had to learn was to be very smart. My first go-to now is a reading. Bonjour, I'm Pastor Dr. Quintari Shakir, otherwise known as Negrezo. If you can't get enough of our content for as little as $2 a month, you can get these and other videos at least 1 week ahead of their YouTube release date. That's www.patreon.com/Black Spectrum Network. Like, let me do a reading on it.
Yeah.
That's my first go-to for anything. Whether even if I'm confused about something, let me do a reading on it. It doesn't matter. Even if it's like I've done readings on, should I go to Chick-fil-A today or should I go to Zaxby's?
Right.
Just to figure out what it was the spirits wanted for me to do. Because before, the way I lived my life, I would just allow for whatever sort of external factors or what I thought to be my intuition, which was just really my conscience, to guide me. And now I live life differently because now that I know better, I have to do better.
Absolutely.
I'm a priest now. The spirits are considering that, you can't seek pity like a civilian. You have to seek, you have to be pietous with the spirits and then seek for them to fix your situation.
And then also just realizing too how spirit works and how powerful these energies are. And really, you don't want pity. You don't want pity from Bawon. You don't, because he might just say, you know what, that shit's so hopeless. Come on home. Let's just start over.
That's so funny that you say that.
You don't want pity from the energies that we work with. We want them to have every confidence in us and be, you know what I'm saying?
And I'll say, yeah, no, I mean, and I've learned that because when I was in Haiti, that's what I learned about Baron, which was, there are some, not saying that you can play with any Loa, but it was just like, you had to be, it was like now that you know that you're a child of Baron, you have to do better. When I took my oath, they were just like, you have to be mindful of the things that you think and that you say, whether they are going to bless people or be, or be viciously savage. It's going to manifest, it's going to happen as a child of Baron. And if you don't want that power, then guess what can happen? You can come on home. Which was like, you can come on home because, your corpse is better off as fertilizer than for you to be a weak ass ancestor.
I hate you.
It is. So, have you ever, quote unquote, did it first and asked for permission later?
I have.
What does that mean?
Of course.
We need to put this in perspective because we just threw it out there.
Okay, well, what that means is being a priestess. And knowing what I know and having access to the tools and gifts and power that I do, a lot of times, because as we said in the previous question, it is burdensome having access to those things. And so I have, in the past, rather than do a reading on a particular situation, because frankly, I didn't want to know the answer. Probably because I already knew the answer, okay? I didn't want to know the answer, and so I would just take action on a particular thing, make a decision and move on it, walk into a particular situation, blindly in a way, but I really believe my intuition was telling me what the outcome was going to be or what I could expect, which is why I didn't want to officially open the oracle, because I didn't want it to be said that you knew and you did not do. So I just did what I wanted to do anyway, and then I'd come back home and cry to my ancestors about whatever foolishness I had gotten myself involved in.
Okay, I can say, I don't know if you really remember this, but I had this client that wanted me to break up a marriage, and this was before I went to Haiti. This was back in like September, October, and I remember I was like, I think I'm gonna experiment around with it. And I remember I was like, I should probably ask my godfather if this is even possible for me to do. And I was like, nah, I can probably hoodoo it out.
I remember that.
I was like, I can probably hoodoo this shit out and make some money. I can try it out. This is gonna be for. And then I meditated. And I was like, okay, I meditated and I envisioned myself in a spiritual courtroom. I saw Bridget Ratchet Ass as the judge, and I saw the man's soul, the the client that wanted it done. And Bridget was like, yeah, you can do this work without our permission, and we're going to take all your money. It was like, you're going to be in debt. And so I was like, okay, I don't know if that was right. I didn't want to accept the oracle I opened up. It was just like, I'm like, okay, I was meditating. I was just imagining that. That wasn't real. And so then I do a reading, and the reading shows the magician and I'm the magician in the tarot. So it shows me in a lot of pitiful ass situations carrying debt. And then I'm like, okay, fuck this. I'm just get on WhatsApp, call my godfather. My godfather says, no, did you go to Baron? He was like, did you go to Baron and ask him? And I'm like, yeah. He said, what did Barone say? He said to wait. He said to wait till I come to Haiti, or else it's gonna fuck my money up. And he said, well, then you need to wait till you come to Haiti, or else it's gonna fuck your money up. And so I didn't do, but I did ask for permission. I had to eventually ask for permission, but the times that I did without asking for permission had been beneficial to me, such as when I was before I was working with my godfather, and I was figuring things out, and it was coming down to like working with pendulums, and we were told like pendulums because pendulums are dangerous and so on and so forth. Be careful who you're speaking to. And then one day I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna just get a pendulum. Ain't nobody can give me no permission on that. And it worked out very well for me in those instances. But yeah, when you are in African spirituality, you always want to ask for permission. You can do it first, but there are consequences doing it first.
Right.
At the very least, do a reading on the situation.
And
before you do it.
Absolutely.
And then pretend you don't know.
Always do a reading. And we had a shared teacher at one point, and whenever you would ask her a question, her first question to you would be, well, did you do a reading on it? Did you do a reading on it? Because if you're here standing before me,
hold on, wait. She would ask, did you do a reading on it? And then you ask her for her advice, and that's why she would repeat to you, did you do a reading?
Did you do a reading?
And then you'd be like, you walk away with no advice, but coming to this conclusion after an hour of a conversation with her. Damn, I should have did a reading.
I should have just done a reading on it. Yep. Now, if you did come to her, and I learned this, you probably did too. If you did come to her with a question or a situation, and you had already done a reading on it, and you were able to tell her what the reading said, then from that point, she would go into giving you advice and guiding you. But she was not based on your reading. But she was not gonna get her hands dirty with your bullshit, and you haven't even taken advantage of your weapons and tools and Greetings, I am Reverend Priestess Oshun Funke. I would like to invite you personally to book an ancestral life path reading with me. If you're interested in learning how to work with your ancestors, how to make appropriate offerings, or how to set up your ancestor altar, I can help you. Please visit www.blackspectrumnetwork.com.
Yeah.
And advisors. So
for you all that are watching Sophisticated Sunday, especially up until this point, you have some tools in your arsenal that you are completely able to use. Prayer is free. Absolutely. Meditation is free. Prayer and meditation are both free. You can open up those oracles at any time and change your life circumstances. White candles are cheap. Dollar Tree is around the corner.
From everywhere.
A white tea light candle is easy to find. And so
you can use birthday cake candles, actually. You got to get your prayer together in 5 minutes, make it happen, but you can do it.
And birthday cake candles work really well, especially the ones that have the numbers on them. If you don't have enough candles, but you're trying to, like, I don't have 5 candles for Oshun, just get the number 5 birthday candle and just make it work.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you about something else. What is one supposed to do when they are waiting on the teacher to appear?
That's a good question. And so what you are saying is you're referring to the idea that when the student is ready, the teacher will appear.
Thank you.
I think that what one should do until the teacher appears is continue to get ready. Because if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. You get what I'm saying? So they should continue on whatever path has been laid out for them through their intuition, through consultations and readings that they may have gotten. They should continue on that path, continue to pray and continue to meditate, and continue to evolve and expand in the ways and with the opportunities that they have already at their fingertips, what has already been presented to them. Because once they are ready, the teacher will appear. So if you are doing whatever it is that you're doing and the teacher hasn't come along yet, then it would stand to reason that you aren't ready. Keep getting ready.
Yes, and you can get ready to in terms of brainstorming ideas from what she said. Prayer and meditation is going to help you to get ready. If you are watching this video and you need an easy prayer and meditation regimen, I suggest that you pray pray before you go to bed, but intentionally wake up during the witching hour. The witching hour is
3 to 5, something like that.
1 to 2, 1 to 3, something. Find the witching hour for yourself. Okay, so when you found the witching hour, make sure that you're praying and meditating during those hours, and then meditate on a teacher appearing. And make sure that you're incredibly descriptive in not just the identity of the teacher and the characteristics of their personality, but also being very specific and detailed about the ways in which the encounter is going to happen and the type of tutelage that person would offer to you and the things that you know that you will want to learn. Self-study is going to be incredibly important as well, because the more knowledge that you have, the better the experience for the teacher. Because you as a student are supposed to learn from the teacher, but also introduce to the teacher things outside of their expertise. The teacher is supposed to go and study the things that you're interested in so they can help to teach you to become an expert. Very much in the same way that one would go about pursuing a master's level degree or a doctorate degree under other experts. So let's talk about things that are dangerous to do.
Lying.
Okay, lying. Okay, it's dangerous to lie. Do spirits lie?
They can, absolutely.
Yeah, they can.
They can. The Bible says, test the spirits, see if they be true. Spirits can absolutely lie. And I think that lying is a very dangerous thing to do, particularly for a priest or a priestess, because when you, like, for example, my name is Oshun Funke, Ifa Tosin. Oshun Funke means a gift from Oshun, a gift from the gods. And Ifa Tosin means Ifa is worthy to be praised. So when you wear the name of an Orisha, when you've been crowned by a particular Orisha, it is then understood that every word that you say is a prayer. And it is a prayer in the name and through the power of that Orisha that you have been crowned with. So theoretically, and in fact, if and when you lie, it could absolutely be perceived that you are lying in the name of that Orisha, that you are lying on that Orisha, because it's expected by the community that your words would be a perfect interpretation of the messages that they have given to you to be their mouthpiece.
I know that spirits lie because I've had...
But what kind of spirits? Because Baron isn't lying to you.
Baron is a god.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, so right. So make that distinction then. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Make that distinction. So we're not talking about Orishas lying to you. We're not talking about the Loa lying to you. We're talking about spirits. And there are all kinds of spirits, you guys. There's a host. There are different spiritual races, as above, so below. So, you have ghosts. You have demons, you have angels, you have garden gnomes. You get what I'm saying? And everything in between. Rogue astral spirits, people who haven't transitioned, that would be a ghost. But there are different spirits that inhabit the spiritual world. So every time your pendulum moves, you are not speaking to an Orisha unless you know for sure that you are, because you are initiated and you are crowned by the power of that Orisha. Okay? If you're playing with a Ouija board, you don't know what manner of darkness you're channeling. So what kind of spirits lie?
Okay, so this is all from paranormal experience, because I do.
Fuel my fire, take me higher, I'll be your liar too. Cause when we're here, there's nothing better than the skyline view.